Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Especially my hoopers. Those are basketball players, by the way. My floor wipers, right? The guys that wipe the court, and my NBA referees. They've been extremely popular lately. I'm your host, Kenneth Tiberius Clark. And I want to welcome you guys to the Breakroom Breakdown Sports podcast, where we create content for all sports fans, right? Not just our veteran fans, but our casual fans, our new sports listeners, right? So we're creating content for everybody. But hey, guys, welcome to episode 7. There should be no mystery about what we're going to discuss today. The NBA season is coming to a close, right? The finals are nigh. So that being said, we're going to be chopping it up today with Fox analyst and VESN Network host and founder Veejay Vernon. And we'll do a short recap of the NBA playoffs. And then, of course, we'll talk some finals predictions. Sounds good? Right. But before that, we have some Olympic updates, right? So as we're all aware, Sha'Carri Richardson has taken the sports world by storm. Let's see, she posted a time of 10.86 in the 100-meter dash at the U.S. Olympic trials. And this makes her the youngest to win that specific race in over 30 years. She's 21, if I'm not mistaken. The last person was 19. And this isn't anything new for her. If I'm not mistaken, let's see, she broke in 2019, she broke the NCAA record for the 100-meter dash. She's a freshman at LSU. She posted a 10.75, right? And that record stood for over 30 years before she broke it. So at this point in her young career, she's just been on a tear, right? But just to kind of backtrack a little bit, in my opinion, what really makes her special is not just what she's doing on the track. It's more so what she represents. Let's see. Let's think about it like this. I think she's the perfect example for the next generation of athlete. She's this vibrant, explosive personality, right? That's very confident in her skill set, as most great athletes normally are, right? But outside of that, she also took a page out of FloJo's book with the glam style, right? So she has the long talon acrylic nails. She has the colorful lace front wigs, right? She has the makeup. I mean, and all those things come together to make her this very unlikely American hero, right? And more than that, she's a strong representation for both the Black and the LGBTQ communities, right? You heard me say unlikely earlier, right? Like America's not built on a diverse culture, right? So she's probably just a bigger example of that. But yeah, I mean, let's think about it like this. For those people that maybe aren't a big fan, of her personality. Some people call her boastful. She's very confident. She may very well be the U.S.'s best chance at beating Jamaican runners like Fraser Price and Shericka Jackson. I mean, yeah. Once again, like I said, those are some of the fastest women in the 100-meter dash. So, like I said, yeah, that she may be our best shot. So now, quick segue for my casual fans. You heard me say FloJo earlier, right? I know you guys are like, who is that? All right. Now, FloJo is a nickname for Florence Griffith Joyner. She's widely regarded as the fastest woman of all time, setting records in both the 100 and 200-meter dash. I want to say a 10:49 for the 100 and a 21:34 for the 200. Let's see, her calling card was her glam style, right? So you heard me say that about Sha'Carri Richardson earlier, but that was FloJo's calling card. She was known, like I said, she had the hair and makeup, she had the long nails, she had the colorful tights, right? And hell, to tell you the truth, a big thing she was known for, she made the one long pant leg popular, right? That was her thing. The one short, one long, right? So not only did she set the standard for women's track, she also became a fashion icon for athletes as a whole. Right. And of course, we'll never get another FloJo. I mean, FloJo was unique. but it is fun watching Sha'Carri Richardson kind of bring swagger back to women's track and field, right? So that's track. All right. Now let's jump back into our fast break frenzy. Trae Young, apparently he's put the world on notice. He's been making a statement in this year's NBA playoffs. He's averaging an eye-popping 29.8 points, 9.5 assists, and 2.7 rebounds. He's led this young and resilient Hawks team. Let's see. First past the red hot Knicks, who everybody in the world was excited to see back in the playoffs, and a more established Philadelphia 76ers team, who some pundits had coming out of the East, right? And now he's locking horns, pun intended on that one. He's locking horns with the Giannis-led Milwaukee Bucks, and they're giving them everything that they can handle in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? So in a way, even though this year's playoffs has been kind of odd, it's been the Trae Young show. It's been the Trae Young coming out party. I mean, we knew the kid could shoot. We knew he was lethal from three. He's always had range. We've seen him pull up from the logo. He's been doing that since his Oklahoma days. But now, oddly enough, he's showing that he knows how to control the ebbs and flows of the game, right? He's showing that he can get other guys involved, right? He can create scoring opportunities for the players around him. And that's a trait that I think is very rare for scoring guards in today's NBA. All right. Now, to pump the brakes a little bit, do I think that Trae Young has officially joined the ranks of a player like Luka Doncic? I don't know if I can go that far. Once again, it's been impressive watching the game slow down for him, and he's been doing impressive things. But I think Luka would do the same, if not more, if he was in the Eastern Conference, right? But for Trae Young, for his argument, if he makes the finals, his first time in the playoffs, it'll definitely close the gap a little bit, right? It'll give him a legitimate argument to say that he's in that class, and he's on the cusp of doing that, right? Now, for my casual fans, I know you guys are like, hey, like, why are you mentioning Luka Doncic? Like, where did his name come from, right? This isn't about him. It's about Trae Young. Now, the 2018 NBA draft, it saw the Atlanta Hawks. They actually drafted Luka Doncic with the 3rd overall pick. And Dallas drafted Trae Young with the 5th pick, right? Later on that evening, they administered a trade, and it sent these two young guys to their respective franchises. And as it stands right now, that trade is, by many, it's considered one of the most even trades in NBA history. So simply put, all right, to keep it very, very basic, very simple, these guys, their names will be connected for the rest of their NBA careers, right? So now I told you guys earlier, all right, I said we're going to have a great guest coming on, all right? Let's see, Veejay Vernon of the VESN Network. He's officially on the call, and let's bring him in. Let's get him in here. See, I see this man brought the belt.
Well, I mean, you know, you can't be the champion. Hold on, my screen looks a little fuzzy here. Let me. Oh yeah, that's much better.
So as you guys see, we got Veejay Vernon from the VESN Network. He brought the belt because, you know, he according to him, he's the sports champion here.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't give me no half-ass compliment.
No. Hey,
no. I don't say it. I listen to the people.
Hey, 100%. Hey, as you guys can see, me and this guy have a great relationship, so we like to have fun. So we try to be civilized, but we go at each other's necks all the time. Mm-hmm. But you know, obviously, the NBA playoffs is upon us, mm-hmm. right? Basketball's coming to an end, and it's been an interesting postseason. All right. What are your thoughts on this year's playoffs? Like, is it just me? I feel like it's felt a little odd, a little different. What are your thoughts on this year's playoffs?
I'll start here. Let me tell you where the NBA really messed this up. The NBA messed this up by doing the bubble last year. And I said it and I said it last year when they wanted to so desperately get that season in, when what they should have really done is taken a break and given everybody some time off at that point. You would have had a tremendous rested roster on every NBA team ready to rock and roll because you have the Olympics coming up.
True.
So for
Very
everybody
close.
that's bitching and crying and complaining about the time off from last offseason, what the hell you think is about to happen this year? And you got guys now that are going to go overseas and play for their home countries. So it's not just the American players. So I thought the NBA dropped the ball there. But what these playoffs have what I call it's been a discovery playoffs. We have discovered that Trae Young is a superstar. We have discovered that Chris Middleton is what I've been saying Chris Middleton is his entire career since he got to the NBA coming out of college. I believe Texas A&M. Coming out of school, he is who he is, who we think he is. He's going to give you one good game, maybe a good game and a half where you'll have 37, 38, 39 points, and he is going to be pedestrian the rest of the playoff period. And most of it's going to fall back on Giannis. We found out that Father Time is catching LeBron. We found out that AD is AD. He's not going to be healthy every single year. You got so lucky last year that you got 4 months off because his injury was probably coming at some point last year.
And he still missed games.
And he still missed games. So, I think we've learned that Chris Paul gets an excuse for his career and gets credit for everything that he probably doesn't deserve all the credit for because I got some people saying he's an MVP candidate, but you're playing with Devin Booker. Chris Paul made all NBA third team. Devin Booker didn't make all NBA any team. So I don't know how that happened. So I think I've learned quite a bit. Some things I knew. I learned quite a bit. We've learned that Philadelphia is not going to win a championship with the combination of Embiid and Ben Simmons. And it's not all Ben Simmons' fault. Embiid puts up numbers, yes. But Embiid is too damn emotional to be my superstar. I need my superstar to be emotional if you're going to be a killer. If you're going to go at people's throat. I don't need my superstar to be emotional, for foul calls and trying to antagonize like the other players. I got guy like the Clippers got Pat Beverly, right? He's not their star. Their stars are Kawhi and Paul George. You got to have a different guy be the antagonizer. The antagonizer in Golden State is Draymond Green, right? But their 1-2 stars are Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. I don't need my superstar being that emotional. So I think we found a lot of things out. I think we found out Tom Thibodeau can coach his butt off and has brought that Knicks franchise to relevance again. I think we found out that Julius Randle is going to be a really good player, but I just don't think he'll ever be great. You can't name me a great player, maybe other than Kobe, that when the playoffs first came into their lives, they were just nowhere to be found. It wasn't that Kobe was nowhere to be found. People just remember the back-to-back air balls against the Utah Jazz. So I think we found out quite a bit, some things we didn't know, but I think we found out quite a bit in the playoffs this year.
So it's funny you mentioned the 76ers. You're probably the first person, but I know you have your opinions. I would naturally it does, right? I would naturally have thought, we would have talked about Ben Simmons and how the 76ers, that organization was like, they put all the chips down. They want to build that team around him. And obviously he's kind of created a hard cap for them. What do you think about that?
Kobe Bryant was quoted in a Slam issue back in 2018. And he said, if this kid does not develop a jump shot, he's going to regret it at the end of his career. He is going to sit and lay in his big mansion or his big yard on a big ass hammock somewhere in the islands with a beautiful woman. And he's going to say, damn, man, if I only got in the gym more and if I only got myself a jump shot. I don't think everything is Ben Simmons' fault as Ben Simmons, as other people think it is. But if you're going to build around him, you've got to sit him down. And this is what you said. I understand you want to be a celebrity.
Right.
I understand you're dating a Jenner / Kardashian. I understand you're cool with Drake because you're with Clutch Sports and that's LeBron, and LeBron and Drake show up to his son's games that he scores 7 points in and after not playing one dribble all year long because of knee surgery. I get all that. You are going to have to decide, do you want to be that Ben Simmons Or are you trying to be Allen Iverson, Philadelphia 76er, Ben Simmons, who leads us to a finals, at least a final, at least get us there, at least get us to a conference finals, get us to a finals? Do you want to be Magic Johnson? Do you want to be Penny Hardaway? Because I'm comparing guys with that size and that ability, right?
True.
Do you want to be those guys? Or do you want to be Devin Booker, where in year 7, think about this, in year 6 and 7, we are still asking, is the man a superstar or star? It only took us 3 years to get to that for Trae Young, 2 years to get to that for Luka. Just do right? Do the math, right?
It's true. It's true.
Over year 2, and we're going, man, is Luka a star or superstar?
I personally said at the end of year 1 because he was
of course. But my point is, we're still asking that about you, Ben. We're still trying to figure out who you are, and I'm a firm believer in today's NBA. I got to know who you are in the first, like, I'd say 36 months. I got to know who you are. Like, I got to know, like, Zion, fellas. I don't care what anybody thinks he's going to be. The Zion you see is the Zion you're going to get. Like, we already can see what he is. What is he going to improve on for his position? Ball handling is pretty good there. Jump shot's got a pretty good jump shot, maybe the 3, but he's aggressive. He can. We know he's going to rebound. We know he's aggressive. We know he's going to play deep. He can leap. He's athletic. He's electrifying type play. He's an exciting guy. None of that stuff's going to change. We're still trying to figure. We still got something to find out about Ben. Can he get in, and does he want it? Ken, does he want it? Some guys want it. Jason Kidd just got a coaching job. Congratulations to him. But I don't know if you're old enough to remember. I'm showing my age. I know I don't look it, but I'm showing my age.
You're the same age.
Well, no, actually, no, we're not. Thank you.
Look, a compliment, right?
101. It's great hosting 101. But when he first came into the league, there was a running joke. They would call him Asen Kid. And you'd say, why you call him Asen? Because he's got no J. Now the man is a top 11 and 3-point field goals made in the history of the game. So from a guy with no jump shot to top 11 of 3-pointers made, Vince Carter, dunker, electrifying play, high flyer, right? Little jumpy, little Jimmy on him. Number 6 all time in 3-point field goals made in his career. Number 6, you can win some money in a bar on that question right there. Nobody's going to guess that. Nobody's going to guess that. You got to want it, man. Those guys wanted it. The question is, does Ben Simmons want it?
So you think, and just to make sure we're clear, it's more about the organization, the people around him haven't truly held him accountable. That's why he hasn't become the player that he should have became already. Is that what you were saying?
Absolutely. I said it on my show, and I was on The Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio with Chris Broussard last Thursday. And I said, why are we holding Embiid accountable as a leader? When did we stop holding the leaders accountable? You don't like Kobe? Kobe held you accountable. Now everybody got a problem with Mike because The Last Dance came out and Scottie Pippen got his hair twisted and acting all crazy. And now everybody wants to question. But Mike, in The Last Dance, I almost teared up because he almost teared up because it's like, you guys want me to win. Well, this is how I did it. If you don't want to lead that way, fine. But this is how I did it. That's why he's 6-0 in the finals. That's why he's got 6 MVPs in the finals. And that's why he's arguably the greatest basketball player we ever saw. This ain't about being friends. You got to hold your guys accountable. The front office needs to go to Embiid. Hey, buddy, we need you to be more accountable. Stop trying to get dates with Rihanna. She's not dating you, bro. If you've seen her list, she's out of your league. If you've seen her resume, you're out of her league. You're out of your league, bro. Get with this guy. You guys want to win championships? Or y'all just trying to be popular and win and make a lot of money? He's still owed $148 million on that contract. So everybody thinks they can just move Ben Simmons.
No, they can't. They can't.
Thank you. It's not that easy.
Yeah, not that easy. Yeah.
So it's the front office, but we need to also get on Embiid's ass. If you're the leader of that team, why aren't you holding your guy more accountable?
That's true. That's true. Because as we know, I think we can both agree Joel Embiid has become otherworldly when he's on the court. He's injury prone pretty much, but when he's on the court, he's developed his game. He's probably one of the best two-way players in the NBA.
To me, he still puts up under. I watch Embiid play, and I ask myself, why doesn't he average 37 a night? 30, right? He's averaging 30. He averaged 30 this year. Okay. Yeah. So you can't find me 2 more buckets in a free throw somewhere? There's 7 points. You can't find me 2 more buckets. You shooting a 3. So if one of them's a 3 and one's a 2, that's 5 right there. You ain't get fouled one more time. There's the other 2. There's 30. How are you not
So with everything Embiid is doing, you feel like he's underperforming?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that says a lot about Joel Embiid, guys.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so because this is how I judge it, Kenneth. Let me ask you this. Do you ever see him take plays off?
Yes.
Do you ever see him get too much into his head that it affects his game?
I do.
There's 7 points right there.
I mean, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. You know, I think this has probably been his best put together season this year. So
how
far.
is it that guards like Kobe can average 35, Harden can average 36, Jordan can average 37? How is it that guards can do it? And we're in a league where there is nobody. Name the guy that can guard him in the post. Name the guy that can guard Embiid in the post night after night.
Not a soul. Not an absolute soul. Look. Maybe you can get cute and throw a Giannis or AD on him, but I mean, Joel Embiid, night for night, not so.
Possession for possession.
No. So people have compared his dominance to Shaq. So I would definitely. He's not Shaq, but I'll tell you this though, he's probably the closest thing we've seen to it. Fair to say. Would you agree?
No.
Okay. Who is?
Tim Duncan was more of a dominating factor. Kevin Garnett was more of a dominating factor. Dwight Howard, whether people liked him or not, or thought he was goofy or not, or chose sides in the Superman argument between him and Shaq. Dwight Howard, if people just put the back on 07, 08, 09, 2000, just go put the tape back on. That's all I tell you, just go put the tape back on. The man won 4 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards. Was a pick and roll alley-oop like machine and didn't need a Chris Paul to throw him the oops. Like anybody could just run. Jameer Nelson was his point guard.
I'm a Jameer Nelson fan, by the way.
No, am I saw him in high school.
Yeah,
I saw him in high school, but we didn't think Jameer was going to be that dude in the league.
No,
when he first came out of college, we didn't think he was going to be Dwight Howard was more of a dominating presence. Like I said, he should be averaging 37. The 30 is cool. But you're averaging 30 because there's just no more centers. Being that there's no more centers, you should be averaging 37. That's like if Shaq was averaging 30, like if Shaq was averaging more like 26, 25, we'd be like, hold on. Shaq should be at about 29, 30. And his prime dominance, that's where Shaq was. His MVP year, what was he, 30 and 13, 30 and 14? Postseason came around, he was 37 and 15. That's why he sits on TV and goes, I did it. He should be dominating. I did it. Like he did it, so he can say it. So I don't like that comparison.
Well, as you first of all, fans, as you guys can see, this is what me and Veejay Vernon do. We go back and forth. So expect some fireworks. But we're talking about the 76ers. They're a team that some people had coming out of the East. Let's look at 2 other teams that had high expectations. All right. In your opinion, who is a bigger disappointment, the Lakers or the Nets? And why?
When you sent me this question the other night, I smiled really big because it's a great question. It's an unfair question. It could be viewed as a biased question. It could be used as a trigger question because you have 2 of the biggest trigger guys on each team that's going to piss off a fan base or get a fan base on your jock, and it's Kevin Durant and it's LeBron James.
True.
Father Time's catching LeBron James, and you can see it because he won't come off the block and play real defense for 35, 36, 37. Whatever many minutes is in the game, LeBron goes and parks on the block, and he pretty much stays there on defense. So you can see Father Time coming. AD's been hurt before. Hasn't played a full season, I think maybe once in his career, if that. Hasn't played a full season yet. If you flip over to the Nets, Kyrie steps on Giannis's ankle, series over. Harden doesn't take care of his body, pulls that bullshit that he pulled in Houston and comes to New York and then turns on the throttle. But if you let a car sit cold and then try to go put it out on the freeway and try to hit 90 right away, it might go a little bit for you. And you'll be like, oh, man, I'm rolling, man. I'm rolling. But sooner or later, something wasn't warmed up and it's going to affect another piece of the car. And then there goes the hamstring. Series over. You got Durant out there pretty much by himself. And if his feet wasn't so big, they'd have won the series. If he's not standing on the line on the turnaround, like the man shot a fadeaway turnaround 3 from the wing. Like that's
right. Yeah. I thought it was a 3.
And hit it.
Yeah. And hit it.
Hit it. So If I had gun to my head and I had to pick a team, that's a hard one, man, because the expectations for LeBron to prove that last year wasn't, as I call it, the AAU Mickey Mouse bubblegum tournament in Orlando. And then for Kyrie, a.k.a. Afro, we call him Afro-Ree on my show now because he about his blackness right now. Afro-Ree and then Harden, Durant to win without the Warriors, without having the super team. Man, if I had to pick one, then I would think the fans would probably think the Nets because they were supposed to be more stacked. But I think a lot of analysts, if you look across the board, they had the Lakers coming out of the West. Oh, if the Lakers are healthy, if the Lakers are there, the Lakers are going to – doesn't matter what seed they are. It's like, well, they haven't played well all year long. And you guys keep talking about health. LeBron, I don't want to hear about the ankle. The ankle was a nice seed planted. Him saying I'm never going to be 100% was a nice seed planted. He sees Father Time on that ass. LeBron's not here no more. LeBron's here. Nobody just wants to say it because we have a problem letting go of the greats. And he is one of the greats, even though I'm not a LeBron fan, but he's here and it's going fast is the problem. You can watch some of his drives. He's got no lift. Where he used to go dunk, now he's pump faking or he's laying up. That's a
losing explosion.
Yeah, that's a big no. Somebody asked Charles Barkley once, when did you know? He said, when I tried to dunk and I had to lay it up. He said, I knew then. And he even admitted he played 3 more years after that night. He played 3 more years, but so that means he knew 3 years prior that it was, I can still get points. I'm going to still get calls because I'm Barkley. I'm going to still yada, 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 yada. I'm going to still be Barkley, but I'm never going to be that Barkley again. And if you look at LeBron, if you put shooters around him, he's still going to give you 7 assists a night. It ain't like he's running an offense to find a guy. He's penetrating, kick. Penetrating, kick. You can do that till you're 50. Mm-hmm. You can penetrate, kick to you. Is Caldwell Pope going to hit the 3? Is Schroeder going to hit the 3? Is Caruso going to hit the? That's all the assists are going to. Ain't no backdoor dumps. There's nobody cutting to the basket. There's no big man he's dumping the ball down to. Mm-hmm. There's no penetrating and handing off to the big man on the side for a dump. It's all kick and 3-point shoot. So, you know what? I'm going to take the coward's way out with this, which I normally don't do. And I'm gonna say it's a dead even tie. They were both a disappointment, man, because the injuries and Father Time caught these guys. Now, if you ask me if Philly was a disappointment, if you ask me if Dallas losing in the first round was a disappointment, even though they started to play the Clippers again, Dallas was supposed to take the step. I know Denver has some. Utah, you want to ask me some teams like that are disappointment? Like Utah season is a disappointment.
I would concur, but maybe you can tell me what you think. Did you believe that Utah was going to make it to the finals?
No, not make it to the finals, but damn sure not lose like that 4 straight games to the Clippers with the last 3 games being with no Kawhi Leonard. You got to finish that off, man. One of the best scoring teams, top scoring teams in the league, top rebounding teams in the league, with lowest turnover teams in the league. One of the best coach teams by Quinn Snyder, who is a Larry Brown disciple. So you know Larry can coach. It looked like the Pistons 04-05 team is what that team looked like. Donovan Mitchell was more Chauncey Billups, and then Gobert is your Ben Wallace, right? And then you have your Ingles and your Bogdanovich, and that's your Tayshaun Prince and your Rip Hamilton. And then you bring in Favors, and Favors ain't Rasheed, and he ain't close to Rasheed. But I'm just in comparison team-wise, too. You know, I'm sorry to take over your show. Top sidebar, man. Larry Brown, assistant coaching job in Memphis with Penny Hardaway today, man. Larry Brown popped in my head because I mentioned Quinn Snyder, but Larry Brown's still going to go coach some college hoops. But, I mean, did I say NBA Finals? No, but to lose like that after the year they had, and you don't know what Portland's going to do. Chauncey's their coach now. They're going to reload. The Lakers are going to try to do something. The Clippers will be back stronger next year. Phoenix will be back stronger next year. Dallas is going to make some moves this offseason. Like, you lost a great opportunity. I don't think they can replicate this next year.
So you feel like they had an open road to the NBA final and didn't take advantage. Okay.
They had an open road to the conference finals and did not cash it in.
And didn't take him. Okay, so let's shift gears. Let's talk about this Suns team. I mean, they're shocking the world, and I think that they probably have the best chemistry in the playoffs right now. Probably outside of the Hawks. The Hawks are kind of showing some stuff too. What are your thoughts on this Suns team?
It's hard to judge them because once again, first round Lakers, LeBron's father time, AD, the groin, the Achilles, everything else. Second round. Denver Nuggets, you sweep them. No Jamal Murray. And I said this. I think I might have said it to you, but I've been saying it for the longest time. I like Jokic. I really do. I thought he deserved the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But my best player can't be my most unathletic player. I don't give a damn how many triple doubles you have. I don't give a dog. He can't jump higher than my son, and my son is a year and a half.
Well, Dirk wasn't athletic, and he
was. That's a fallacy. Yes, Dirk was.
It was a fallacy. I don't think Dirk was athletic.
Dirk could run the floor. Dirk was long. Dirk was athletic. Yes, he was. Dirk wasn't a high flyer, but he was athletic. And Jokic, your best player in the NBA, can't be your least athletic guy. So you need Jamal Murray really bad on that team. So then you get to the conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have to review every minute little thing down to the wire, they don't get to draw up that play at the end of game 2. They lose that game. That thing's 1-1 coming back, and then they cash in and get the win in game 3. The win in game 3 didn't. I mean, excuse me. They lose game 3, so they would be down 2-1. The game 4 win, I'll give them the game 4 win because they defense showed up to hold that Clipper team to 81, 82 points. That was the one game where Tyronn Lue couldn't figure out his coaching. I think he's done a tremendous job, though, and some of the matchups and some of the plugs he's pulled the other night, going small against Ayton. Ayton goes out, go big, and that created the lead. Mm-hmm. And it was like, God, that's this really good coach. So I have to give him his props too. But I mean, they could easily be down 3-2 in this series rather than being up. So it's hard to kind of judge the team. I don't think Cameron Payne, like the other night, 5 points. He had that one blowout 29-point game. And I said it to Chris Broussard, I was like, dude, he won't do that again this series. And those are games you go back and you look. And I heard Tyronn Lue say about listen, we should have won game 2. We should be up 3-2. We know we're down 3-2. They'll win tonight. I still have the Clippers coming out of the West. I had them from the start of the playoffs. From the start of the playoffs, I had the Clippers coming out of the West. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stick with that because I think from top to bottom, they have a more talented and they have a better team. And I just think Chris Paul, this would be such poetic justice if he loses another 3-1 lead. This would just show, okay, guys, we can get off the credit. I know he's LeBron's friend and everybody loves everything LeBron likes. I get it. But at the end of the day, great assist guy. He's a dirty player. He's always been a dirty player. Stepping on the back of Kennard the way he did the other night. Like, you don't do that by accident, man. Like, he does some things that just make me go, man, this will be poetic justice. So 3-1, no Kawhi Leonard, and they lose this series. They're going to lose tonight. They're not winning tonight.
So really quick for the fans, because we want to break things down for them. Expound on the 3-1 thing. On the 3-1 narrative.
He was up, yes. Chris Paul has been up 3-1 twice in his career with really good basketball teams. He was up with the Clippers when they had Doc as their coach, and Austin was an off guard. He was the point. They had Blake Griffin, Duncan all over the place, DeAndre Jordan, Duncan all over the place. It couldn't get it done and lost a 3-1 lead to the Houston Rockets. Fast forward to him being on the Houston Rockets. Really good team. James Harden, a lot of PJ Tucker. Capella was a young, budding, big man star coming into the league. They're up 3-1 on the healthy Warriors. We can't figure out what the hell is going to do. It's the Warriors. How are you down 3-1? And in game 6, Klay Thompson missed the game 6. Klay, my mama call him Klay. I'm going to call him Klay. Just came alive. And then in game 7, they decided to shoot, I want to say 3 of 29 from 3 or 3 of 28 from 3 or something like that, and lost a game 7. And that was the demise of that series and his leadership. You know, if you even go back a little further than that, first round series against the Spurs, if he doesn't have a crazy over the shoulder blind flip over the side of his head over Tim Duncan, they lose that game 7 at home. And they were up in that series 3-2. So this has been his mantra, his career. He's been up 3-1 several times and have lost both those series. And that's why the other night when they go up 3-1, he says, I don't want to talk about 3-1. You did you said something. You just said next question. If he'd have said next question, everybody knows what he would have meant. So I got the Clippers winning tonight, and I got the Clippers winning that series. I think they're good. I love their future. Monty Williams, how can you not cheer for that guy? Guy loses his wife, And, he went through some medical stuff. It's like, how can you not, especially another black man doing his thing as a head coach in the NBA, how could you not cheer for that guy? But I don't know if Booker's a superstar yet. You have one good game. Stephen A. Smith says he's the next Kobe Bryant, which is so disrespectful. But you get people that do things like that. And since then, he kindly went out. I think he shot 5 of 21 and then 5 of 19. Like, yeah, the next Kobe Bryant, right? Had a good game the other night, but then they still lost, and I think they lose the night. So I think their future's bright, but I mean, they've kind of had the injury luck affect them on the good side as much as anybody else. And I thought the Hawks, when the Western Conference Finals started, I said the Hawks were the only team that could really pat themselves on the back because they didn't have to battle any injury teams. They just went out and won the game 7.
No, they have. Yeah, no, they
went out and won the game 7 in Philly. I had the Knicks in the first round in 7, so I got that series wrong. I had the Knicks. I said, they got home court. Knicks are back. It'll be topsy. They went and wiped them. So they were the one team I could say, hey, they can pat themselves on the back and say, hey, hold up, we ain't had no injuries over here affect our winning. We're winning. Everybody else. You guys are the ones that are beating broken down teams. So. That's how I feel about Phoenix. Good team, great season. I picked them to win 50 games this year in my preview show, so I cashed in on that. But I think they're a nice little squad for the future, but nothing that's going to win a championship and be a factor or juggernaut in the NBA.
So you feel like they've caught a few breaks, right?
Yeah,
quite a few. So obviously we got Milwaukee and Atlanta, and we got Phoenix and LA. Who ends their finals drought? Who ends it? Who ends their championship drought?
Clippers.
Oh, Clippers, really? Okay.
Clippers will win it all, but I think they will play the Hawks. Giannis did not. The reports out he did not tear. I thought last night watching that game, done. I've seen that way too many. The knee buckle with a screech and a scream and a fall and a hold of the knee and a lay on the court for 3-4 minutes. In the history of basketball, it's been an ACL tear. I don't know how the hell that ACL held on. I don't know if his ACL, I'm gonna start calling his ACL tendon Will and Jada, because damn it, they hold on to any damn thing. Giannis Antetokounmpo. See, I just gave you a show a nugget. Giannis Antetokounmpo, his ACL will now be known as
Veejay Vernon, guys.
It's the Will Jada ligament, because that damn thing held on through everything.
My goodness.
And still looking at y'all like
the Will and Jada ligament.
I just don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be right, man. I've hyperextended on my knee before, and once the fluid hits it, man, and once it swells, it's not hard the same. To bend. It's not the same. So Trey, God, bad luck, steps on the ref. That ref can never ref another game in the state of Georgia if they lose this damn series, because Trey Young missed that game. But I mean, God, look what they did last night, man. If you're Milwaukee, do you not have to win by 20 last night?
You have to. With no Trey Young, it's inexcusable.
Inexcusable. You got lemon pepper 2 women. I call them lemon pepper 2 women. That's Lou Win, because you got 2 girlfriends. I don't want to say to be on my show. I call them 2 B's. I don't want to cuss on your show. I call them lemon pepper 2 women on my show. But you have him running and starting your fight. He cool and all, but he ain't no starting point guard. And then by Bogdanović, goodness gracious, last night hurt her. I mean, these players are looking around, but you know what that tells you? See, that's what a leader is. Leadership is what happens when you're not around
on the court. That's true.
It's like integrity. Integrity is what you do when nobody's looking. That's it. That's leadership. What happens when you're not around? And they can't. And you can tell he didn't even want to be out there. He didn't want to be on the. He had a hood on. He had the Adidas hood on. His Trey Young line from Adidas. You can tell. But as the game went on, he's looking around, and I'm watching. I'm like, you know what, man? That's Embiid. Hello, that's a leader. When you're not there, LeBron. No, you guys love LeBron. Hello, when you're not there, that's a lead. He has infected that city.
He has.
Like Michael Vick did. When Michael Vick got drafted there, it lit that city up. Trey Young has lit that city up. And I think they're going to win this series. And I think they're going to go to the finals and play against the Los Angeles Clippers. LA ATL, man.
So no, it definitely be great. Look, from a marketing standpoint, they're gonna make a lot of money, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great series. Yeah. So earlier, I was actually talking about Trae Young. And once again, he's been transcendent this playoff. I said this NBA playoffs it's been unexpected, but it's been the Trae Young show, right?
Yeah.
He's been putting on the clinic. So a lot of people, the Luka Trae Young thing comes up. I look at, you obviously picked the Clippers to win the West. I look at what the Clippers are doing without Kawhi, and I think that says so much more about Luka. The fact that he was able to take that team he was able to take the Dallas team to 7 games against this Clippers squad with Kawhi Leonard. So, what are your thoughts on where they're at as far as comparison? Obviously, Luka's already a superstar. He might become the face of the NBA within the next 2 to 3 years. But where do you think Trae is in that comparison or in that race? Has he closed the gap?
I tend not to take far discussions like, well, he took them.
Mm-hmm. You're muted. You muted yourself.
Am I good?
You're good. Just go up just a little bit. Okay.
I switched my outlet.
Yeah, you're still low. You're still low. Turn yourself up. Turn yourself up just a little bit. Hello?
All right, we're straight.
Okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
I tend to not got this far. I don't care how far you got. I don't care how far you got. Did you win? No. So, and what Trae Young is doing is translating to winning. Now, you say he took that Clippers team 7 games. All right, cool. But Trae Young beat the Sixers in 7 games and won a 7th game on the road. And at the beginning of this, and you're talking about a number 1 seed, and all through the years, all through the season, every time the Nets kind of floundered a little bit, Philly's gonna win the East. Philly ain't nothing to sneeze at now. Everybody love Philly. Everybody love Philly all through the year until the debacle happens in that series. Then it's okay. Let's pick Philly apart. But at the end of the day, Trae Young was Trae Young was the better pick. I'm tired of this discussion. Yeah, Trae Young was the better pick.
Is sinful.
Trae Young's not only the better pick, he's the better player because you can see his leadership rubbing off on the franchise. It's translating to wins. Luka is translating to Cuban saying bye-bye to Carlisle. Cuban saying bye-bye to the GM. Cuban saying bye-bye to one of the top keeping one of the top assistants that Luka wants to like. Luka has already engulfed himself into what American basketball is players first, coaches and everybody else down the line. I don't like this guy. I don't want this guy. I don't this. I don't. They didn't ask Trae about Nate McMillan. And they still having to give him McMillan the permanent job. He is still working under the interim label. You don't hear Trae Young running his mouth. You don't hear Trae Young bitching and crying and complaining. Trae Young's like, let me do this. Let me just go out and win for my guy. Obviously, he likes him there. Let me just go out and do what I do, and then everything will take care of itself. I ain't got to chirp. And Porzingis apparently doesn't get along. Like, come on, man. You got Luka, but now you got drama in Dallas. You got Trae and ATL. Everything feel kind of good down there to me, bro.
Well, look, hey, as you guys see it, hey, great minds don't always think alike.
No, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing anyway, Kenneth. You don't know nothing anyway, Kenneth. I saw your rant. I watch your show whether you know it or not. I watch your episodes. You're a guy who's ranting on Tim T. Stop, okay? So you don't know. You don't know.
Like, look,
you still wet behind the ears in this.
Hey, look, like I told you guys, we try to be civilized human beings, but we just can't help coming at each other's necks, right? It's impossible.
Family, though. It's different. We family though, man.
Oh, of course. Hey,
yeah, we family. So,
Trae
Young, come on, man. Trae, listen. I love just real quick. I love Luka's size. His step back 3. I mean, you're right. I mean, he went out, he was dropping 37, 39, 41, like it was nothing. And it looks
do anything
good.
With him. They couldn't do anything with him.
They couldn't do shit with him. Could they put Kawhi? Hold on. Could they put Kawhi on him?
Well, they can't, but they can't. They couldn't sacrifice Kawhi because he was their scorer.
Exactly. Yeah. But it shows if you got a defender to throw on him, all the little antics don't get to him. Morris tried tripping him and tried some stuff last year in the bubble, and I get all of that. You got to have a goon on the team, and it started to affect him. But he's learned to play through that. That I like. I don't know if he's a leader. I don't know if he's a leader, man. And intangibles, bro. Intangibles count. They count. We overlook intangibles all the time because we get so enamored with the highlight. And intangibles mean a whole lot, man. And to me, Trey has more intangibles that translate to winning than Luka does.
And you know what? Even though I like Luka better than Trey, I can respect that opinion because what Trey has done in Atlanta, I think halfway through the season, people counted them out. You know, people didn't think Atlanta was going to do much anything.
They were 16-22 when their coach got fired.
Yeah.
But people you and I, once again, we're the same age. When Nate got that job, I went right online. I said, let me tell you something. If that franchise is smart, they hire Nate now. You're talking about a 5-time all-defensive player in the league. You're talking about a guy that played with the glove, Gary Payton. So he knows at one point was the best defensive backcourt in basketball.
He was.
Had to guard Jordan, had to guard Magic, had to guard Drexler, had to guard Stockton. You're talking about Hall of Famers. You're talking about GOAT type shit. And this is the type of coach who's looking at this team, and I'm going to take this point guard, and I'm going to nurture this point guard, and then I'm going to take these wing. I'm going to say, there's Collins over there. Okay. Oh, Herder from University of Miami. Yeah, he got some buckets in the ACC or the Big Ten. They switched over. Okay, let me work with him. This Capella guy that Houston pretty much gave up on and threw away. Oh, you know what? No, I can do something with it. Their defensive rating went way up. Their focus, their bad shots went down. Defense went up. Bad shots went. That's what Portland's going to get from Chauncey Billups. Portland fans, celebrate. Don't break the team up. You have a coach now who will demand you even at least give some damn effort on defense. Terry Stotts didn't even demand it. They just try to play defense. Oh, let's just go outscore everybody. Ask Mike D'Antoni how that works out for your career. Got to be able to end. So what Nate McMillan has done with that team and it's feeding into Trey. And I think what he also did is he's kind of everybody had that friend in the neighborhood that they can just put their arm around and just whisper something to him and get him going. And then whether it was on the court or the football field or a fight, I don't know, a pencil fight match in the bathroom or a chess match. I don't know. But everybody has I think Nate McMillan is that old school G that saw Trey Young and was like, man, hey, come here, homie. I mean,
pull him in.
You in Atlanta. You could really you could really own this town, bro. There's a lot of NBA players do Embiid own Philly? No.
He doesn't.
No.
So you feel like a big part of his success is he embraced the culture of Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Embrace the culture of Atlanta, embrace the culture of the coaching, embrace the coaching of what he was demanded to do. Nate McMillan demands that you play defense. They were 16-22 because they weren't playing any defense. Yeah. He demands you. I don't care how well. We already know you can do the offensive stuff. In college, as a freshman, first guy in the history of NCAA to lead the nation in scoring and assists. Nobody had ever done that before. And you're talking guys like Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Penny Hart. I can go on the list of point guards in the history of college back. And here comes Lil frail Trey Young. He knows he's undersized, so he's worked on his floater. He knows he's undersized, so he's worked on drawing fouls. He knows he's undersized, so he's worked on getting around screens and staying in the position to play defense. People got to watch the games. They just kind of look at the screen. You got to watch off the ball. Watch how things have changed. And Nate McMillan and that coach, and that's why I think that he was a better pick than Luka, because when you watch Dallas games, you know Luka's going to give you a bunch of points. But you know Luka ain't going to stop nobody. You know Luka can get a little whiny to the refs, and it gets in his head and affects him. He's almost like a European Embiid, right? Luka averaged 27, 28 a night this year. Why ain't Luka dropping 35? Why ain't Luka dropping? That's a 35, 6'7", 6'8". And he thick, too. He's not like your normal white guy.
Yeah,
he's a little frail. He got a little beat.
He's a big guy, yeah. He got some size on him.
Yeah, over in Europe, they eat goulash. If y'all know what goulash is, that's like casserole. The casserole got a lot of shit in it. Casserole make you thick.
Like I said, once again, guys, this is Veejay Vernon. Me and this guy we could go all day, but the biggest thing is now, obviously, you mentioned earlier you did The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard, and that was pretty good. I watched a little bit of that. But let's talk about the VESN Network. Tell us about the VESN Network.
VESN Network is VJ Entertainment Sports Network. I am a 20-year stand-up comedian. I've been acting for about 10 years also, too. So I have this network I put together of sports and comedy. Never been done before. Will be the first network of that. Don't none of y'all steal my shit, or I got goons that'll come after me. I got. Don't think I'm light skinned. I got goons that'll come after. So I just want to create my own network and my own source of entertainment and sports. I dislike heavily the way sports talk is done today. I dislike heavily the way sports talk TV is done today. The way we talk about sports, the way we let Twitter take over our good sense and what our eyes see. No disrespect to nerds, but there are way too many nerds that have been let into sports with their numbers and analytics. And there's a nerd in me. I watch Animal Planet. I like whales. I like sharks. I like stuff. There's a nerd in me too. But I would never think that I deserve an Animal Planet show. I'm not that guy. I'm just a nerd that likes it, enjoy it. So I think that we gotta clean it up, and that's what we stand on in VESN Sports. No personal narratives, no agendas. We just gonna talk sport. Yeah, there's some players I don't like. There's some teams I don't like. But I'd much rather just somebody say that to me than try to disguise it in, well, he didn't such and such and such and such, or he had such. Everybody's got great players. Mark Jackson says it all the time on air. You win with talent in this league. Stop trying to make all these other reasons up why people are winning. You win with talent. Coaches win with talent. If you have some go, oh, he never won anything. Well, I mean, he ain't never really had no talent to win nothing. You know, you can't make a Jordan or a Kobe. You either have a Kobe. Well, Phil had Mike and Scott. Yeah, he did. But Phil was also a great. If you ask those guys, they'll tell you he was also a great coach. Even though they had them in the years that those guys did not have him, they didn't win championships. So it goes hand in hand. That's the type of sports talk we're trying to deliver. Plus, with a lot of comedy, we have show ideas. We have 6 shows right now that we're trying to. That I personally, I'm doing all this myself. I'm trying to fill up as far as talent goes. So we want to bring you guys sports, bring you guys comedy, and we want to bring real sports talk back to the masses. Man, no more filler. No more man fanning. Man, no more jock riding. It's ugly. It's getting like I ask people all the time when my question is, ask them, what shows do you watch? When they tell me what sports shows they watch, I already know what type of sports fan that they are. I don't. There's sports shows I just don't watch. You don't watch such and such, or you don't watch such and such. No, and I won't turn it on. I love BTI and I love Around the Horn because they're journalists, and I am a journalist. I'm a sports journalist. My degree is in journalism and communications, so I like journalist talk. I don't want to hear former fanboys and jock. I don't want to hear that.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you guys this: the reason why I have this gentleman on is because he's a very passionate sports fan. So for you casual listeners that are just getting into it, this is what a real strong, passionate sports guy looks like, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So VJ, if the fans want to get a hold of you, if they want to contact you, how do they contact you? How do they reach you?
Started stripping at the Jigglypuff Room on Tuesdays. I go by the Big Vanilla Splash. So if I come by at 6:45, it's my solo. You can catch me there. But if you don't catch me there, you guys can get me at VESN Sports at Twitter and VESN Sports Network on YouTube. Very, very, very simple. But please come to the Jigglypuff Room. I've been working on my routine.
Hey, make sure you guys throw some money too. Hey, look, he has a family to feed.
Last week, this for real, man. I'm a little thick. Last week, this lady threw a donut at me. I was pissed. I ate the donut.
Yo, you ate the donut.
I ate the donut because it was Krispy Kreme. My feelings were really, really hurt. And she said to me, she was like, "Did your ass eat the donut?" I was like, "That ain't the point. Point is,
I wanted money.
I wanted money."
So. All right, so VJ, this is what I do. I like to give the fans some homework. I want you to give us some homework. Who is your favorite team of all time year, and why?
My favorite team of all time and year would be the 1997-98 Michigan Wolverine football team. It's a team that went 12-0, won the Rose Bowl, beat Ryan Leaf in Washington State. Charles Woodson won the Heisman. Beat out Peyton Manning, who nobody thought was going to happen. I watched every game that year, and this is before packages, and this is before TV flooded, but ABC and ESPN living on the East Coast were flooding Big Ten games on the network along with ACC at that time. And Michigan was the number 1 and number 2 ranked team all year long. So, of course, they made sure they got those games on. I watched every game, scared shitless in the Iowa game because we're down 14-0, came back and win. Scared shitless in the Notre Dame game because we were undefeated and playing Notre Dame at home. Notre Dame's up 20-7 late in the third quarter, and we just couldn't get anything going. Of course, Charles Woodson makes a play on a punt return, turns the whole game around. We get running with Anthony Thomas as a true freshman and Chris Floyd at running back. We had Ty Streets at the receiver position. We had Rumashek as a tight end. It was just Brian Greasy, Bob Greasy's son, former Dolphin Super Bowl champion with a Dolphin son, quarterback. That team was MVP in the Rose Bowl. It was just a great season, and it culminated with the Ohio State game at home. Quick side story: David Boston took a trip, visiting recruitment trip in high school to Michigan, to simply tell them he ain't coming here. He's going to Michigan, and you tell Charles Woodson, because they knew each other from Ohio in high school. Charles Woodson is out of Fremont and was Mr. Football his junior and senior year. And they knew each other in high school. Woodson was recruiting trip to tell Michigan, Lloyd Carr, and all the recruiters to his face, well, I ain't coming here, but you tell Charles Woodson I'm coming from him at some point. And that was the day that they got finally met. All-American David Boston, All-American Charles Woodson, and Charles Woodson shut his ass down. And then to cap the game off, the 81-yard punt return for a touchdown up the left side, the exact same sideline, Desmond Howard's 78-yard punt return touchdown, his Heisman year where he strikes the Heisman in the end zone. Charles Woodson puts up a little small Heisman trophy just to culminate that. Jose, the Penn State game, that game is number 1 versus number 2. If you remember, LeVar Arrington, Courtney Brown, Joe Jaravicious, not Kerry Collins. God, who was the damn court? I forget the court. It wasn't Kerry Collins, but it might have been. It was my fault. It was Kerry Collins. That game is nip and tuck up at Happy Valley. Nip and tuck at Happy Valley. Third and 13. Charles Woodson catches a deep end post for like 25, 26 yards. Gets that game up. Shut Joe Jaravicious down that day. 1 catch that day. Shut him out. So that season was just, and then the Rose Bowl comes to the Washington State game. Washington State's driving late in that game. Who gets the interception in the end zone? Charles Woodson. It was my favorite team ever. And I watched every game, every snap, and it was beautiful to watch. And that's the last time Michigan has won the
So it was funny because I was thinking basketball. You gave me football, but you know I'm a major football guy, right? I watch all sports, but football is my thing. So no, I definitely love that. Guys, make sure you do your research. He gave you guys some homework. All right, I make sure you email me Kenneth519 at gmail.com. All right, and give me your 1-page paper on his team. But outside,
really quick, if I had to give you a basketball team, 04-05 Pistons against the Lakers. Nobody gives us a shot. I watched a lot of that season too, and just that team, Big Shot Billups. People have to remember too, in that playoff run that year, Billups had to hit like a 3/4 length 3-pointer to save our season at the buzzer in the Eastern Conference Finals. We were about to get eliminated, and in the second round, we were about to get eliminated. You have to remember that's the Tayshaun Prince block year on Reggie Miller in the Eastern Conference Finals. They had home court advantage. The Pacers did. And the Pistons took that series in 6, but Tayshaun Prince saves that series for us. And then to go against mighty Shaq and Kobe and Phil and Peyton and Karl Malone and smack them in 5. And if Kobe doesn't hit the shot to tie game 2 and then score 10 of y'all 12 points in overtime, we sweep the Lakers that year. So if I had to give you a quick basketball team, Carolina's so many because we got so many championships with the Tar Heels. I mean, I could just pick
here we go.
Pick a Roy Williams team. What do you want? You want 04? You want 08? You want 2010?
Here we go.
2018? Like, what team you want me to take? But yeah, if I had to give you a basketball team, I loved and thoroughly enjoyed that champion, that season, right? That team right there, man. 5 straight Eastern Conference Finals, back-to-back NBA Finals. Should have been up 3-2. Rasheed Wallace leaves Robert Horry at the end of Game 5, and Robert Horry hits that 3 on the wing, and that tips it back. But we win Game 6, force a Game 7, up Game 7 with 2:19 left, and then scored the rest of the way, and they came back and beat us. So Larry Brown easily could have took us to back-to-backs, man. But, yeah, if I had to give you a basketball team, my Pistons, man.
Well, hey, once again, you guys, me and this guy could go all day. VJ, it's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
To have you.
Thank you, man.
Like I said, thanks for coming on. With a fun time, man. This guy's absolutely hilarious. Fans, tap in with the VESN Network. Some hot things coming. I know we got salute. I know we got the NBA draft coming up. But yeah, outside of that,
we got the number 1 pick, baby.
Oh yeah, the Pistons do. Let's see what you guys do with that. K Cunningham. Well, look. We'll see. Maybe you take one of the Mobley brothers.
No,
because USC produces like pristine.
Listen. It's K Cunningham. He's gonna change. He's gonna change Detroit Piston basketball. You watch what I tell you. This kid, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". 195. They'll bulk him to about 205, 208 when it's all said and done. And in today's league, where it's a non-touch league and guards can roam, he can shoot. He's long. He can defend. He's going to be a guy we're going to be talking about 2 or 3 years from now. So, man, how are the Pistons in the second round? And everybody's going to go, dog. Okay, the question is going to the next player we're going to be asking about, star, superstar, in the next 2 drafts, K Cunningham.
Okay. Well, like I said, we'll definitely link up because I know the Breakroom Breakdown. We're gonna do some NBA draft stuff, so we'll definitely have to get your feedback on that one. But outside of that, brother, have a blessed night, and we're definitely gonna link up soon.
I'm proud of you, homie.
No, I'm proud of you.
Hey, listen, man, I'm proud. You know our backstory, how we met, and everything. I'm proud of you, dog. I'm watching you, player.
Well, thank you. Look, I'm honored, right? So
I see you in that gym too. I see that gym.
Come on now. You don't gotta wear a tight white shirt.
Listen. I see you over there with the pile out and your pecs, and I'm like, okay. I had a fried chicken wing earlier today. I gotta go do some push-ups.
Hey, look, I gotta get a fan some aesthetics, something to look at, right? But hey, like I said, once again, all good. We're definitely gonna link up here pretty soon. We'll have you back on. We got football season and training camp coming on, so I'm definitely looking forward to hearing your feedback and takes on that.
Yes, sir. Man.
All right, man. Well, have a blessed night, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys, man. God bless.
All right, God bless. Well, there you guys have it. That's Veejay Vernon from the VESN Network, right? He gave us his thoughts on the NBA playoffs, as well as his finals predictions. As you guys can see, me and this guy don't always agree on everything. We definitely go back and forth. I'm still rocking with Luka. I think he would do the same thing, if not more, in the Eastern Conference is what Trey is doing. But he made a very good point, definitely saying that Trey has definitely been infectious from a leadership standpoint. So I definitely enjoyed that take. But we also talked about we talked about 2 young transcendent athletes, Trey Young, one of them, and Sha'Carri Richardson, and how they're impacting their respective sports. So definitely stay tuned for them. But as always, if you guys had fun, please subscribe. I know you guys had fun this episode. I know I probably had the most fun I've had so far in the Breakroom Breakdown. But we're on all major platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify. And if you guys want to live chat with me and the Rooted in Sports clan, as always, just check us out on Clubhouse. More platforms coming soon. And I also encourage you guys, please, share it with your casual friends that are new to sports, just getting used to listening, so they can join us. They can join our community, our sports community that we're building. But until then, hey guys, welcome aboard, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.